Let's get you now an India Today exclusive. Your first look at the contended Katchatheevu Island. This is something that dominated the election narrative last year during the general elections. Now, for the first time, we show you what really this island looks like. Why is it that Indian fishermen are trying so hard to get access to the Katchatheevu Island? Pramod Madhav with this exclusive.
Historically, in Tamil Nadu, the landmass is divided into Kurinji, Mullai, Marudam, Neithal and Palai, of which Neithal means the land that is near to the sea and the people who live over here. Yes, we are at Rameshwaram and we are here to find out the certain things about one island which is just 25 kilometers from this particular island called as Katchatheevu. And yes, behind us you see the famous railway bridge which is attaching Rameshwaram to the mainland, and why this particular Katchatheevu is of very important strategical point for the fishermen from Tamil Nadu and the fishermen from Sri Lanka, and why it has become an issue for decades that has not been resolved so far. That is the sea shimmering with the sunshine, and this is where the fishermen leave from this particular port at Rameshwaram. We have reached the Rameshwaram fishing port, and from here we could easily see at least 1,000 fishing boats which are now being packed by devotees who want to reach Katchatheevu. Remember, only once a year Indians are allowed to reach Katchatheevu, an island which is generally out of hands even for Indian fishermen to go to that spot. And this 1 year people are allowed to go there, and it's expected at least 8,000 people will reach Katchatheevu for 1 day alone. And after a delay of 8 hours, we are inside the boat, and our next destination would be Katchatheevu. In fact, let me just show you the amount of boats you see over here. These are the mechanized boats that are at Rameshwaram Fishermen Port, and their biggest concern is not a raging sea, but the Sri Lankan Navy. And that is why Katchatheevu has become a very big issue, where the Tamil fishermen, especially from Rameshwaram, claim that they need Katchatheevu back as they are harassed every single time they venture into the sea, and there is no other way for them to survive, because these are the people from the Neithal area, which means the sea and sea surrounding space, and all they know is fishing. For thousands of years they've been fishing, and they claim that without Katchatheevu, an important strategical point, what they're facing is the Sri Lankan Navy claiming that they have crossed the international maritime border, made to pay hefty fines, abused, attacked, bullied, and also boats seized along with the fishermen, thrown into the prison. This atrocity from the Sri Lankan Navy, the abuse, the bullying, and he has to face it every time he goes near Katchatheevu or anywhere over that spot to fish. And he says that he wants the state and the center to help them in one way. On August of 2024, he was arrested along with 8 other people. Kingston was on one such boat with these nets, and he was fishing. But they had gone to a space where they did not know if they have crossed the maritime border or not. And this is when they were surrounded and arrested. And we are less than a kilometer away from Katchatheevu. Over there is our destination. But before that, the last step is over there. That is the Sri Lankan Coast Guard, to whom we have to go and report, say what is the condition of the boat, how many people are there and such. And Sri Lankan Navy is, as you could see, is all ready, and we have to be very careful while approaching them. And once they give the clearance, from there towards the right you see Katchatheevu, and that is our destination. And after several hours of scrutiny, checking and such, we have finally almost reached Katchatheevu. Yes, step by step we are showing where Katchatheevu is, because the situation and the kind of work we had to put through to reach the spot is humongous, and that's why we are showing it as we're nearing it. India Today showing you Katchatheevu on Bay of Bengal on a boat that belongs to a Rameshwaram fisherman. This is Katchatheevu, the island that you see over here, a place where now everything is. Today there is a festival, a Christian church festival, a feast but this is the only day anybody from India can freely go to that particular island. However, the fishermen of Rameshwaram demand that it should be retrieved because they claim that it is very essential for their life and their livelihood. Unfortunately, it is with Sri Lanka, and Sri Lanka is not ready to hand it over anytime. It's just 25 kilometers away from mainland India, Rameshwaram, but this spot is a coveted island which now is with Sri Lanka, and this spot where no one can step that easy. However, India today scripts history by reaching Katchatheevu. Yes, the island is with Sri Lanka since 1974. You could see evidently how it has been shown over here with Sri Lankan flags all over, and most of this island is restricted area. On one end, Sri Lanka is not ready to give up this particular landmass. And we have entered Katchatheevu after a lot of scrutinizing and checking, and this is how Katchatheevu looks. This is the terrain of Katchatheevu inside. Now, we already showed you the shore, and this is how it is, a good forest place, a lot of bushes and such, but this is just one image because we could see a lot of movement of the armed forces over here. In fact, behind us also you could see the various level of checkpoints you have for various people. Like they have VVIP passes, VIP passes, Indian Sri Lankans and Sri Lankans and Indians, so that way they have been segregated. And even after extreme checking only, you are allowed inside this particular place. One day of the year, all because of St. Anthony's Church festival, people are allowed, but that is also not easy access. You have to go through various levels of checking before entering this plot. Interestingly, drones are not allowed. So that is how Sri Lankan government is handling and maintaining Katchatheevu.
நிச்சயமாக இலங்கைக்கும் இந்தியாவுக்கும் அது தமிழ்நாட்டு மீனவர்களுக்கு இடையிலே ஏற்பட்டிருக்கின்ற பிரச்சனை என்பது பிணக்கு என்பது நீண்ட காலமாக புரியோடி போயிருக்கின்ற பிரச்சனையாகும். அப்ப இதற்கு தீர்வு வேண்டும் என்று இன்று அல்ல நேற்று அல்ல தொடர்ச்சியாக நீங்களும் நாங்களும் இது பேசி வருகின்றோம், போராடி வருகின்றோம், பல்வேறு விதமான நடவடிக்கைகளையும் எடுத்து வருகின்றோம். ஆனால் பயன் அளிக்கவில்லை.
A portion of this endless sea, which you see behind me, is what the fishermen of Rameshwaram are fighting for. On one side, the political discourse, blame game is still on. Fishermen claim that all they have to do in Rameshwaram, it's just an island, is that they are dependent on fishing and they have to go to the sea no matter what kind of threat they face. Imagine, they claim that they are not worried about a cyclone, but they are worried about the Sri Lankan army, and they claim that this is the situation they face, and that is why they want a solution to it. However, we are here at Katchatheevu. India today is at Katchatheevu, showing you this beautiful emerald sea behind me. With Daniel, Pramod Madhav for Industry.